What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm talking about the sneaker releases in the first half of April and whether I think each one of these shoes is going to sit on shelves or sell out. First off, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Reshoevn8r. If you've rocked with the channel for a while, you know that Reshoevn8r is my go-to sneaker cleaning product, and today I actually teamed up with Reshoevn8r to give away this exact ultimate sneaker cleaning kit. So if you would like to win this exact sneaker cleaning kit, make sure to stay tuned till a little bit later in the video. But getting into the video itself, this is a bi-monthly series that I do where I talk about the sneaker releases in the first half or second half of a particular month. I let you guys know when the sneakers are releasing and what I think of them, and also whether I think each shoe is going to sit on shelves or sell out. Of course, as I'm sure you're aware, sneaker releases change all the time and new sneaker releases are added all the time as well. So if you're really looking for a particular sneaker, make sure to stay on top of the information for that shoe yourself so that you don't miss it. But with that being said, let's jump right into the releases. Starting things off on April Fool's Day, or April 1st, we've got the Adidas Ultra Boost 19 Raw Khaki Core Black. I love the Ultra Boost 19, I think it's an incredibly comfortable sneaker. I think the looks do leave a little bit to be desired, and this colorway is not really anything special, and I definitely won't be picking it up myself. But I don't think it's a bad looking sneaker, and if you're looking for a brand new running sneaker and you really like Boost, this is a great way to go. As I'm sure you've seen by this point, Ultra Boost 19s haven't really been selling out. I think the only pair that actually sold out was the early pair last November or December, and that was it. So I really don't see this pair selling out at all, so for that reason, I'm gonna give it a sit. Next up is the Nike Tailwind in tan. It's definitely not a bad looking sneaker, I'm just not a huge fan of the Nike Tailwind. And if you've been looking for this shoe for a while and you really like the tan colorway, this is a great shoe to go with. There's really nothing wrong with it. But as we all know, hype usually drives sales, and there's not really any hype behind this shoe, so for that reason, I think this shoe is gonna sit. After that, we've got the Nike Air Max 98 in triple white. I don't have anything to say about this shoe. It's a triple white Air Max 98. That's about it. The Air Max 98 isn't an incredibly popular silhouette, and this triple white colorway is just kind of plain. So for that reason, this one's gonna sit. Next up, we've got another Air Max dropping, the Air Max 95 in white and black. I don't know what it is, maybe April 1st is like the day of boring colorways, but this colorway is just like a split Air Max 95. It's got black and it's got white, like the name would suggest. It's an Air Max 95. Man, are they trolling us? Is this like an April Fool's joke? This day is just really boring. Obviously, I don't think this colorway is gonna sell out. Also releasing, we've got the very first colorway of the Nike KD12. This colorway is called the 90s Kid colorway, which I think makes a lot of sense because it is definitely 90s inspired. I actually really like this colorway. I've always sort of been drawn to 90s inspired things. However, I don't love the overall shape of the silhouette. I feel like it's a little bit weird, but I really love the technology behind the sneaker, and I also really like the fact that it was designed to feel like it was worn in as soon as you first try it on. Even though I don't love the overall shape of the shoe, it's still a shoe that I'm definitely gonna be grabbing, especially for a review. And because it's the very first colorway of a brand new signature silhouette, I can definitely see this shoe selling out. After that, we've got the Air Jordan 1 Mid in Crimson Tint Hyper Pink. This is a very pink Air Jordan 1 Mid, and the overall texture of the shoe kind of reminds me of the Turbo Greens, but of course in pink. For some reason, Air Jordan 1 Mids have been extremely popular recently, and I'm not sure why. The shade of pink, however, that they're using on this mid, I don't think will be as popular as some of the other colorways that have released, so for that reason, I think this one's gonna sit. Next up, we've got the Jordan Proto Max 720 in black and red. I did a review on sort of the reverse colorway of this sneaker, where the upper is red and the midsole and outsole is black, and I think it's a pretty great sneaker overall. I actually think I prefer this colorway to the colorway that I have because I think this one's a little bit more wearable. The 720 midsole though, although somewhat comfortable, is not something that I would want to rock every day. It kind of has this weird bulge at the back of the sneaker that makes it kind of hard to walk in, so for that reason I won't be picking up any more colorways of this shoe, but I still think it's a nice looking sneaker nonetheless. Based on the fact that the first Jordan Proto Max 720 didn't sell out, I don't think this colorway will do any better, so for that reason, I think it's gonna sit. Then we've got another colorway of the Jordan Proto Max 720, this time around in sort of an orangey pink. Same sort of situation as the first one, except I think this colorway is definitely worse than the black and red, so I don't see this shoe selling out. Also releasing on the 1st, we've got 3 colorways of the Jordan Proto React. We've got one in red and white, we've got one in gold, and we've got one in silver. The Jordan Proto React is a pretty similar shoe to the Jordan Proto Max, except for the fact that it switches out the 720 midsole unit for a React midsole. It's a good looking sneaker, and I definitely prefer the React midsole to the 720 because 1, I think it's easier to walk in, and 2, I think it's actually a lot more comfortable. I also think that all 3 of these Proto React colorways are pretty clean. If I had to choose one, I'd probably go with the silver, but I'd be happy with any of them. Regardless though, like the first colorway of the Proto Max 720, the first colorway of the Proto React didn't sell out. And honestly, I don't think any of these colorways are gonna sell out either. And rounding off April 1st, we've got the Jordan Apex React Flyknit in tan. Unlike the first release of the Jordan Apex, this particular version does not have the plastic shroud or booty upper that the original had. Instead, this version is just kind of like a Flyknit Air Jordan 1 in tan on top of a React midsole. It's fine. I think the Jordan Apex React is a good shoe, and I think this particular version isn't a bad looking version of that shoe, but it's not something that I really need to pick up. As for whether this sneaker will sell out or not, I think this one's kind of interesting because I could see it going either way. I could see this sneaker selling out because people missed out on the first one and they want to try this new silhouette, but I could also see it sitting because people don't like the way this one looks as much as the original. I'm kind of leaning towards the sneaker selling out, so let's just go with that. Let's say the sneaker's gonna sell. Then on April 5th, we've got sort of a restock of the Atmos Air Max Lite 2. This sneaker originally only released in Japan on March 23rd, and I'm not exactly sure if this restock is just in Japan or if this is going to be stateside as well. I personally really hope that it is because I think this colorway of the Air Max Lite 2 is incredible. It's super loud, it's super colorful, it's super out there, and it definitely is an attention grabber. I actually saw this colorway at ComplexCon last November, and when I first saw it, I just fell in love with it. I think it's an incredible looking sneaker. So hopefully this shoe does release in the US. If not, I'll be in Japan in like a month and I might just pay resale for it. But regardless, I definitely think this shoe is going to sell out. Moving on to April 6th, we've got the Air Foamposite Pro in Hyper Crimson. From pictures online, this shoe looks identical to the copper Foamposites, so I'm not sure exactly what the difference in colorway is. I've always really liked the copper Foamposites for some reason, so I kind of like the way that this sneaker looks as well. However, Foamposites they don't work on my feet, so this is a sneaker that I'm just gonna let go. Not only that, but the popularity of Foamposites have dropped dramatically, so I think this sneaker is probably going to sit. Following that up, we've got the Nike KD12 in black and white. This is the second colorway of the KD12 to release, and in my opinion, this is the one that I'm definitely gonna let pass. Like I said before, the silhouette just doesn't do it for me. It was really the colorway that sold me on the previous one. This one is just about as plain and boring as you can get. It's not bad, and I'm sure it's a great performance sneaker, but it's not something that's on my radar, and I think there's gonna be a lot more of these pairs than there were of the previous colorway. So because it's kind of a boring colorway, and also the fact that it's probably gonna be a GR, I definitely think this shoe is gonna sit. And rounding off April 6th, we've got the Air Jordan 14 Rip Hamilton in white and red. This colorway is based off the Rip Hamilton PE, however there aren't really any PE details on this sneaker. This release is sort of just a white and red Air Jordan 14, but with that being said, it's not a bad looking shoe. It's probably not going to be a sneaker that I'm personally going to pick up, but I know there will be a lot of people out there who love the Air Jordan 14 who definitely need this colorway. Because of the fact that it's a pretty clean colorway, it's got a good story behind it, and also because we haven't had an Air Jordan 14 in a while, I could definitely see this sneaker selling out. Then moving on to April 9th, we've got the Air Max 1 Susan or Missing Link. This shoe is based off of the new comedy series Missing Link, and apparently it's inspired by the sort of stop motion animation that they used for the show. I've never seen the show, I don't know what the show's about, but the shoe, it looks dope. This is definitely a sneaker that I'm going for. I love the Air Max 1, and this colorway is very, very clean. I'm assuming because it's a special edition, it's probably going to be pretty limited, and from what I've heard, people are pretty excited about this sneaker. So for that reason, I think it's going to sell. Before we get any farther in the video, let's talk a little bit about Reshoevn8r and how you can win this sneaker cleaning kit. As I said before, Reshoevn8r is my sneaker cleaning product of choice. I've rocked with them for a really long time, and the reason I've done that is because this product really works. I clean all my shoes with Reshoevn8r on a regular basis, and I can tell you right now, this product is the best that's out there. Reshoevn8r has tons of sneaker cleaning products for all your sneaker cleaning needs, and if you would like to keep your shoes looking fresher for longer, make sure to click the link in the description below and use my discount code SETH10 for 10% off your entire order. But before we get into how you can win this sneaker cleaning set, let's find out what's inside. So let me pop the lid off this guy, and the first thing that you find is this Reshoevn8r microfiber cloth. This is pretty much just a multi-purpose cloth, as you probably figured. I have tons of these, I use them all the time. They're great for keeping your sneakers clean. Next up, we've got 3 Reshoevn8r cleaning brushes. The first one is the soft bristle brush. The second one is the stiff bristle brush. And the third one is the medium bristle brush, which I think personally I use the most. So here it is, the Reshoevn8r medium bristle brush. It's pretty much a general purpose brush. Like I said, I use it for everything. It works great. Awesome product, I absolutely love it. The stiff bristle brush is for outsoles and unpainted midsoles, and the soft bristle brush is for suedes and meshes and things like that. Then next up inside the container, we've got a couple things. The first is the Reshoevn8r Advanced Sneaker Cleaning Solution. This is their multi-purpose solution. It works great on pretty much every kind of material. This is absolutely necessary, and this is the product that I probably use the most. And then rounding off the kit, you've got two other things. The first is this sneaker bag that you put your shoes into when you throw them in the washing machine. And the second are these shoe trees to help your shoes keep their shape when you put them in the washing machine. In fact, I think this set actually comes with 4 shoe trees and 2 sneaker bags. But now onto how you can win this set for yourself. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to Reshoevn8r's YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, and follow Reshoevn8r on Instagram, and then comment your favorite Reshoevn8r product in the comment section down below. The winner will then randomly be selected 48 hours after this video goes live, and I'll send you out your kit. But that's pretty much it, so why don't we jump right back into the video. Moving on to April 11th, we've got the Nike Air Max Plus in gray. I'm not really a fan of the Air Max Plus, and I'm not really a fan of this colorway either. I also don't think a lot of people are too excited about this shoe, so for that reason, I think it's safe to say that this sneaker is probably going to sit. Next is the Air Max 95 in black, white, Volt, and solar red. This is a lot of colors on an Air Max 95, and I'm usually not a fan of green and red together because it has that whole sort of Christmas vibe, and I don't like wearing Christmas style things when it's not Christmas time. But this sneaker isn't bad looking. I think because they went for a more Volt green than a dark green, it really works better than it would have if it was the other way around. But I'm not in love with this sneaker, and I'm definitely not in love with the colorway. It's not something I'm going to be trying to grab, and I think it's probably going to be one of those shoes that just kind of sits on shelves. And rounding off the 11th, we've got the Nike Vapor Max 3 in pure platinum, black, Volt, and red. I don't know if you saw my Nike Vapor Max 3 review, but I've got to say the Nike Vapor Max 3 is probably my favorite Vapor Max model ever to release. The changes that they made to the Flyknit, the way that they apparently stiffened up the midsole, everything about this sneaker functionally is an upgrade. Visually though, I think the Flyknit makes it look like it's an Ultra Boost 3.0, and I think everything else is actually worse than previous versions, but I don't mind it because of the fact that it feels better on foot. In my opinion, this colorway is better than the launch colorway because it's easier to rock. It's still not a great looking sneaker and I still won't be buying it, but it's better. As you could probably expect, this sneaker will most likely be a GR and will most likely sit on shelves. Then very fittingly, on the 12th, we've got the Women's Air Jordan 12 in black and gold. From a distance, this shoe just looks like a black and gold Air Jordan 12, but when you get up close, you realize that the entire upper is covered in different kinds of reptile print. It gives the upper of the shoe an interesting texture, and I think it's them attempting to make the upper of the sneaker seem more premium, but in my opinion, it doesn't really do anything for me. That being said though, it's not bad. Like, I still like the way the sneaker looks, but I just don't feel like it needed those reptile prints. I feel like it would have been just fine with plain leather. You still can't go wrong with a black and gold Air Jordan 12, and I think a lot of women will be really excited about this sneaker. However, I don't think enough people will be excited about it to make the sneaker sell out. Moving on to April 13th, we've got the Nike Air Max 720 Saturn in pure platinum off-white. This is sort of like a gray high-top 720, and in my opinion, it kind of looks like a motorcycle boot. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm not a huge fan of 720s because I don't feel like they're that comfortable and they make me walk really awkwardly. I definitely don't think this sneaker will help that, and I think it's kind of an awkward looking shoe in and of itself, so for that reason, I won't be picking it up, and I don't think this sneaker will sell out either. Then following that up, we finally got the release of all 6 on-air Nike Air Max winners. These releases include the Nike Air Max 98 La Mezcla, the Nike Air Max 97 London Summer of Love, the Nike Air Max 97 Seoul, the Nike Air Max 1 Tokyo Maze, the Nike Vapor Max Plus Works in Progress, and the Nike Air Max 97 SH Kaleidoscope. I'm actually very impressed by all of these colorways. I think they all did a great job. I think the standouts for me are probably the Soul colorway and the SH Kaleidoscope. I just really like the 97, and both of these colorways, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park. Honestly though, I would be happy with any of these colorways, and I think each one of the designers really did a great job. I also really love the on-air program. Hopefully they do it again this year. Hopefully there's a way that I could enter. I did an If I Design video on the Air Max 1 for Air Max Day, so if you guys haven't seen that, make sure to check it out. There'll be a link in the description below, link at the top of the screen, link at the end of the video. I had a blast, I love the Air Max, and I love seeing what other people do with it. That being said, I think all 6 of these colorways will be limited, and I think all 6 of these colorways will definitely sell out. And then, rounding off April 13th, we've got a shoe that I'm incredibly excited for, and that's the Air Jordan 1 Crimson Tint. This shoe sort of has Bred 1 color blocking, except instead of bright red, it's got sort of a crimson tint, I guess you could say. The color is sort of like a light orange or a light pink, and I think it's a great looking sneaker overall and one that I definitely want to have in my collection. You guys know me, I love the Air Jordan 1, and I think any Air Jordan 1 with this same sort of Bread 1 color blocking is an absolute winner in my book. Because of the fact that the popularity of the Air Jordan 1 is at an all-time high, I think the sneaker has no chance of staying in stock. I think this sneaker absolutely will sell out. Then moving on to the last day featured in today's video, April 15th, we've got the Nike Air Foamposite 1 in snakeskin and pink. This is a black and white snakeskin Air Foamposite 1 with a bright pink outsole, and in my opinion, it looks awful. I don't understand this colorway at all. I think it's the worst, and I absolutely will not be buying it, and hopefully no one else does so Nike stops making colorways like this. There are a lot of reasons why I don't see this sneaker selling out. The first is because Foamposites just aren't that popular anymore. The second, third, fourth, and fifth are because of just how bad it looks. I don't know what to say. This sneaker is gonna sit. And then finally, the last shoe that we're talking about in today's video is the Heron Preston Air Max 720. I'm not the biggest fan of this sort of bright orange colorway, but I don't mind it, and I think the overall silhouette of the shoe, the combination of the 97 and the 720, is just such a great idea. Again, I don't think the 720 is the most comfortable shoe in the world, but I would deal with it because of how good this shoe looks. Obviously, because this sneaker is a Heron Preston collaboration, it will be limited and it will be hard to get. So make sure if you're trying to grab a pair of these, you're staying on top of news about it. But as you probably figured, I think this release is gonna sell out. But that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Once again, huge thank you to Reshoevn8r for sponsoring today's video. If you'd like to check out Reshoevn8r for yourself, make sure to click the link in the description below and use my discount code Seth10 for 10% off your entire order. I would love to know your thoughts on these releases and which ones you're looking forward to most, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.